Okay guys, so we're here with Warlord Games. We're talking to Roger about Doctor Who Exterminate, which is a very cool looking new game. It's actually came out this week, isn't it?
That's right. In fact,
for Salute.
This is the first time it's been seen. In fact, the box I opened this morning was the very first time I'd seen all the completed components.
I bet that was quite a cool thing.
It was very exciting, yeah. It was indeed.
Could you give us a quick run through of like how the game plays and how it all comes together?
Yeah, sure. It's essentially a skirmish game. It's not a hard miniatures war game. It's sort of designed as part board game, part miniatures game. Generally, you have around about 12 figures aside. For the initial game, we've basically picked the most warlike elements of the Doctor Who universe. So we've got the Daleks and the Cybermen.
Very, very, very warlike, yeah.
Absolutely, just what I like. But of course, we're mindful as well. It's a Doctor Who game, so you're going to want people to be able to play with the Doctor and their companions. Basically, as you can see, we provide an initial play mat. On this side is a quarry, which is, of course, everybody Doctor Who fan knows is every planet in the universe. And on the other side, we've got the industrial complex, which, of course, is every space station in the universe. Basically, to start the game off, you choose these recruitment cards, which you can see down here. Each creature has got its own stats. There is a movement stat, a defense stat, close combat, and a ranged weapon stat. The game itself is split into is an I go, you go system. There's 3 phases. There's a movement phase, a shooting phase, and a melee phase. And who moves first is developed with an initiative roll. The actual combat itself is an opposed die roll-off. We use some of these special dice. You might recognise these from the Project Z. There's a few elements that we share with Project Z. So for the shooting aspect, it's a question of you determine a number of dice to roll based upon your character and their particular weapon. The defender has an inbuilt weapon defense value, which can be enhanced by being behind cover. So it's basically a roll-off. You attempt to get hits with these blast or energy markers. The defender will roll his value, and he's looking for, well, these what I class as T-shirts. They're actually supposed to be flak jackets. But once you've determined how many hits you've got, you can alter that by the playing of certain battle cards, which actually replicate some of the things that you actually see on the dice, so you can actually change the result a little bit, or with some cards make the player re-roll. Quite frustrating, but it adds a little bit of extra mystery into what's happening. That's for the shooting, and when you've shot, you match off the attacks and defences, and any successes you have, you roll again. If you get a blast marker, you've shocked or stunned your target. You can knock a Cyberman over. I hate knocking Daleks over. I just turn them around and say, because Daleks shouldn't be on its side unless it's blown up. You've also got the ability to play certain fate cards that you get with certain characters, where you can turn a certain death into just a shocked, or sometimes even save them. You then go on to after the shooting, you can also move if you decide not to shoot, and then you go on to the inevitable melee phase. Basically, the thing to remember in this game is, if you're a Dalek, keep the distance, keep shooting. Do not let a Cyberman get close, because if he does, he's going to take your top off. So.
Or your T-shirt, maybe, I guess.
Exactly, you're absolutely right. But the game is a sort of a balance between with the two sides. With the Daleks, it's really achieving your objectives while maintaining the range, whereas the Cybermen, you've got to get in close to do the damage. But the scenarios are not just based upon the shooting aspects and the killing, but also capturing certain artifacts or other rare items, and these are represented by little vortex markers, which not only give you victory points, but they also sometimes give you a special trait, like an additional move or an additional fire.
So a very cool looking game for people who love a little bit of Doctor Who, getting it down to the tabletop and stuff. And
absolutely.
I think it's the Daleks and the Cybermen are all sort of plastic, aren't they, from the box?
Right, yeah.
And then you can buy sort of the expansion back boxes and things like that, which come with all the new characters and things that people will know from the series old and new as well, which is great.
Exactly. So. There's a huge range of miniatures that are going through, and you just watch the Warlord site and you'll just see some quite amazing stuff coming through. There's some lovely collector sets, History of the Cybermen sets, various Dalek upgrade sets, master sets, doctor sets. Too many and we've got to write all the stuff for them, so it's interesting.
And interestingly, if you're one of the kind of people who wants to sort of get in on this and potentially win a bit of a prize, they're actually giving away the Exterminate set and a whole bunch of the extra bits and pieces that you can actually get with the game. So if you want to get yourself into a bit of Whovian stuff on the tabletop, this is a pretty good place to start. So thanks, mate. That was great.
Well, thank you
Looks
very much.
fantastic.
Thank
So
you.
yeah, see you guys soon.